Hello and welcome to the official Haters Euro 2024 Daily Show. I'm your host, Aaron Goldstein, and today I'm joined by Haters' very own Nathan Edwards and Freddie Walker of the Centre Spot podcast. A reminder, we are live every day of the tournament at 1 p.m, bringing you exclusive training clips, interviews and reports from our team on the ground in Germany. Let's quickly take a look over yesterday's games before we get on to the football that everybody wants to talk about anyway. The hosts and many people's favourites are out. Surprised? Reactions?
I can't really say I'm surprised, to be honest, because that game, Spain and Germany, was so hard to predict before it. So I had no idea which way it was going to go. And it was an amazing game. 2 late goals, 1 in extra time, 1 in normal time. It was really, really strong game from both teams. And it could have been a final, couldn't it, really? It was really high quality and probably the highest quality game we've seen in the tournament so far. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's a shame that they met so early, especially, now the hosts going out. It's always a bit of a weird feeling when the hosts go out kind of early. So, yeah, I thought Germany were unlucky. They came up against the Spain team that was so good. But at times, Germany got quite unlucky throughout the game as well, and may feel a bit hard done by at some points in the game.
I believe it's the first time the hosts have ever gone out in the quarterfinals. Lovely little stat. Well. I need to check that though.
So they bottled it.
Yeah, you might.
The worst host in Euro history then.
Who was your standout performer yesterday?
So for me, it was Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo comes on, gets subbed on in the 8th minute when Toni Kroos injures Pedri. He gets a goal and he gets the all-important assist in extra time. And that is one way to say to De La Fuente, start me. And Dani Olmo is a consistent performer for Spain. He gets goals, he gets assists. He's a top-class player, and he showed it yesterday.
Yeah, Dani Olmo was definitely the best player, and he's, not many people from England probably know who he is. He plays for Leipzig, and he came from Dinamo Zagreb, so he's never actually played in Spain. But yeah, he was really good, and he kind of showed the world what he was capable of, as did Lamine Yamal. I mean, it's crazy that every time you watch him, you think, how is he 16 still? And yeah, no, he was incredible as well.
I was surprised with Yamal as well that he's taking free kicks for Spain at 16 years of age. Like, that's just ridiculous with the quality that they have on the pitch.
Yeah,
and you're seeing Yamal step up and take a free kick.
Like the trust that shows in him from the players, the coach himself as well. It's an exciting time for him.
It's kind of crazy because this whole tournament we've had like repetitive themes. It's always Jude Bellingham for England, Lamine Yamal for Spain. But I think we've seen some really good players as well, and it's really nice to see Dani Olmo come out of this shell. You're right. People in England don't know him. I don't know him personally. Watched him a few times for over the years, and I think he's a really, really decent player. Love to see him in the Premier League. But the hero for Spain yesterday wasn't one of their usual suspects. Mikel Merino. What a header it was. And you know what? He had a good season for Sociedad as well. We have looked through his stats, of course, with SofaScore. A reminder that you should be downloading SofaScore because it is the best app for all football and sports fans. You can get all of your stats, news, anything you really want on the app. You can download it by scanning the QR code in the top left or the link in our description. Last season for Sociedad, 45 games, 8 goals, 5 assists. No goal that he's probably scored in his entire career will have been as important as that magnificent header yesterday. It really was a very... I don't know how to explain that header. He just looked so majestic. He was everywhere. His arms flailing, his legs split. He had a very, very, very good season for Sociedad. And Freddie, we were talking just before the show. He used to play for Newcastle.
Yeah,
he had a season at Newcastle.
Yeah.
After his match-winning heroic yesterday, do you think he'll get any more game time in the semi-final?
To be honest, no. He's had his moment, but that Spanish midfield is in the words of Kevin De Bruyne, stacked. Pedri, if he's not injured for the rest of the tournament, Dani Olmo, Rodri, Fabian Ruiz, who's been a standout performer in the tournament so far. So I see him getting more minutes like he did yesterday in kind of key moments when they need to freshen it up, but nothing more than that, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think he'll start, but it's a good sign for Spain. You see in the tournaments, the teams that win it, they have players who maybe if their first team aren't performing, that they'll have players come on like Moreno and perform. Dani Olmo, replacing Pedri incredibly. So yeah, I think it's a good sign for Spain that not just their 11 are playing well, but their backups are also performing and are trusted and relied upon.
Did you see a celebration as well after the goal? He did that weird thing around the corner flag in honor of his dad who scored at the same stadium way back when. Wow. Yeah, I mean, if I want to replicate what my dad did, I'll just have a nap later. At full time, we heard from a very deflated Julian Nagelsmann.
Have an idea when we do decisions before a game, and with kind of a plan and kind of a roadmap. we talk about a game, and then we do decisions as a team. And when we're not happy with the decision, we try to do it in different way around in halftime or in the second half. We did like that, so that's the hard fact as a head coach. Make decisions and be brave to do one.
I like Nagelsmann. I can't lie. There's just something about him. He's young. He's energetic. Obviously miserable there. But do you think Germany underperformed or?
To be honest, no. I think we were harsh saying that they bottled it earlier. They came up against probably most people's favourites now for the tournament, and it was just, to be fair, just an unlucky draw. They're on that tough side anyway. If they got through that, then they have to go up against France, obviously, next. So I wouldn't say they underperformed. They had some top performers in the tournament. Jamal Musiala, Florian Wirtz had a great tournament. Toni Kroos again. So yeah, I wouldn't say they underperformed. They were pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, if Spain went out, would we say they were bottling it? The two best teams so far came up against. It's just one has to go out. That's knockout football. But as a German, I would really like to see, how emotional Nagelsmann was. It shows he cares, and not some managers aren't like that. So yeah, I kind of like that from Nagelsmann.
You mentioned Toni Kroos. Yesterday was the last time we'll ever see him on a football pitch play a professional game. It wasn't quite the fairy tale ending that he was wanting, but it could have been if Germany had been given a penalty. Is it a penalty for you?
So when I first saw it, I thought they made the right decision and it wasn't a penalty, the hands down. But if you look at the penalties given in this tournament so far, Italy, Croatia, it's harsh, but if it hits the hand like that, then they've been giving them. I would say maybe they haven't given it because it's more down by his side, the hand and whatnot, and who really knows the handball rule these days. But yeah, I've now come around to the conclusion that, yes, I think it should have been a penalty.
Just English refs causing controversy again.
Yeah, I think we do.
Yeah, we love it. I just think, it probably was a pen. Looking at other penalties that have gone, it was a further distance away from compared to Anderson's against Germany, but that was higher up. But you have to take everything into account. I'd probably say, it probably was.
Looks to be on target as well.
Exactly.
Shot,
yeah.
So
and it was still kind of out from his body a bit. It was dangling as well.
We heard from the man of the match, Dani Olmo, about the penalty incident.
Well, they make us a speech before the Euros, and they told us that a normal handball, like if the hand is in a normal position, it will not be penalty. So at the end, I didn't see the video again, the action. But if you have your hands next to your body and they hit you with full power, of course it will go back. So I didn't see a situation. But if they didn't referee that, then they whistle. Maybe it's because it's not.
No one knows the handball rule. They make it up as they go along. We all know it. And we also know that England are going to get robbed with some stupid penalty decision later. It's just written in the stars. Look, that game was fantastic. But after that brilliant game, we were then rewarded with Snooze Fest 2K24 as Portugal took on France. And they battled it out really to see who could make Gareth Southgate prouder. Did you watch the game or did you fall asleep?
Yeah, I did somewhat watch it, but yeah, it was putting me to sleep. Late night game, and yeah, it was a very, very poor quality match.
Yeah, it was crazy with the amount of talent on the pitch that neither could really create. I think 19 players had a shot that game, and none of them scored. It's crazy with the amount of talent, but yeah, not a great game, not one to remember.
I can't really be bothered to talk about it, so we won't. It finished 0-0. João Felix missed a penalty. It was very boring. But before we move on to England, I do quickly want to talk about Ronaldo. He's one of my favourite topics. I strongly believe he wasn't hindering the Portugal team. I don't think there's a better option than Ronaldo up top. I think he's a better option than Gonzalo Ramos, even at his age. And I think that people have an anti-Ronaldo agenda because he's not named Lionel Messi. Can you just like them both and get off Ronaldo's back? What do you think?
You most definitely can like them both. I think when it was kind of before Messi had won the World Cup and there was the GOAT debate, it was much more debatable who was the better player. Ronaldo, he works hard. In my opinion, he was more clutch. You think of his games for Real Madrid, and in those big moments in the Champions League, Ronaldo would always pop up. And I didn't necessarily see Messi in that way. Obviously, since the World Cup, Messi is now the greatest of all time. But for me in this tournament, Ronaldo was just a bit desperate. He seemed like he just wanted that goal so badly, which of course that's in his nature. He is that competitive beast. But for me, he did somewhat hinder Portugal because he was taking all the free kicks. He was taking shots from left, right and centre. And that didn't benefit the team as a whole.
Yeah, exactly. But I just think at that point, you got a manager for a reason. Ronaldo's not the manager. Roberto Martinez has to take control and say if he isn't playing well, which I don't think he played well yesterday, take him off, bring something new on. I thought, Martinez had a really poor tournament. He has such a great team, but he did not get many decisions right. I think keeping Ronaldo on for so many games when he wasn't playing well probably saw them exit earlier than they would have liked.
I guess what works in Ronaldo's favour as well is that even though he missed a penalty, at least he didn't Panenka it and hit the crossbar.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Lionel Messi did
True.
that.
That's true.
Let's quickly take a look back through Ronaldo's fantastic career with Portugal, in which he won the Euros famously in 2016 as a player manager. And then, of course, the big one, the Nations League. He's got 130 goals for Portugal in 212 games, 47 assists. He's never been sent off. That actually surprised me. And a SofaScore rating averaging of 7.42. That's ridiculously good. When you're playing 212 games to consistently get a solid rating is very, very, very impressive. And I think people hate Ronaldo, as I said, because he's not Lionel Messi. You can like them both. I'm Team Messi, but I love Ronaldo too. Freddie, are there any comments coming through?
Yes, so we have a comment from UK of Games. Welcome back. And he has said that Spain, weak physically, not technical. Germany was the better team last night, in his opinion. We've also had a comment from FRed23 saying no penalty. It was offside before the incident. So maybe that plays into the referee's decision. We've also had UK of Games saying we should import Italian officials, which I think is a very, very valid point. And I think that would be very beneficial for the English game as a whole.
100%. I think English referees, like I say we because I'm English, but we just get so many things wrong and the whole world hates us for it. I'd love to see foreign refs in the Prem. There's not actually very many leagues with professional referees. England are one of very few and we have the worst ones. Makes no sense. But today is the big one. Gareth Southgate's 100th match in charge of England. Are you looking forward to it or dreading it?
Somewhat dreading it. I'm very fearful about this game, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun day out.
Yeah, absolutely dreading it. I mean, it's a quarterfinal. You should be hyped up, but I'm not for some reason. I don't know why. I've just got a really bad feeling.
UK of Games, do you want to join me on the show next time? Because I'm sure you'll be a little bit more upbeat and excited. That's what I want with my friends. John Stones was asked about how the England team will be helping Southgate celebrate his 100th game.
Make everyone aware now. We'll have to think of some ideas, mate, when we get back. But an incredible achievement for him personally. 100 games. Don't know how many years now it is. You'll be able to tell me better. He's been here, tournaments, bits of history that we've broken, created. An extremely proud moment for him, I'm sure, and I'll make people aware.
There's so much Southgate negativity and hate. And I mean, there wasn't a big enough deal made that he was reaching his 100th game at the tournament. It's a very, very, very big milestone. 99 games in charge so far, 60 wins, 23 draws, and just 16 losses. It's not a bad record. So why does everyone hate him?
Mainly because of the football style and what he puts England fans through for 90 minutes most of the time and just watching absolutely awful football. But I will say, on your point there of the record, we also did a comparison of Didier Deschamps' record for France, and the statistics are actually very similar between Southgate and Deschamps. The problem being that Deschamps has a statistic saying he's won 2 trophies. Southgate doesn't have that. And that's the big issue that England fans have with him.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, Southgate is definitely the best England manager in my lifetime and probably most people's lifetimes. But I do think the difference with Deschamps, like you look at Deschamps, he doesn't play an exciting style. They have not scored an open play goal, but he somehow gets the fine margins on France's side. I don't think England have managed to do that yet, and I think that's the only thing holding Southgate back, being able to just get us over the line. But if he can do it this tournament, then all will be forgotten.
I will challenge you on that though. Because Gareth Southgate, let's talk about this tournament as a whole very quickly. People have been complaining there's been a lack of goals, it's been too tactical. Gareth Southgate was ahead of the curve. Gareth Southgate, for years now, has been playing somewhat boring football, but getting results. Out of those 99 games in charge, 11 have come in the knockout stages at major tournaments. We have his record here, thanks to the guys at SofaScore. So in the 2018 World Cup, who knocked us out? Croatia in the semi-final. I'm not counting the Belgium third place playoff. I don't think many people would, and that's not me being a Southgate fanboy. Genuinely, I just don't think people care about that. Croatia in the semi-final is not a poor result. They were fantastic. They beat us over a really, really, really tiresome game with a fantastic team. And then they gave France a go in the final. Euro 2020, obviously we got to the final, so no knockout losses until the final itself, where we lost on penalties. In the World Cup 2022, we got knocked out by France, the World Cup champions at the time, the reigning champions, who then, took Argentina and Lionel Messi to penalties. And so far at Euro 2024, we obviously have not lost yet. And of course, not in the knockout stages. His record is very, very, very good. That's all I'm going to say. Have you got any defense, any comeback for me there?
What I will say is on those knockout wins, very few have been against very strong opposition. So you have that one in Euro 2020 against Germany, which was pretty iconic. The rest, I'm not going to go through every team that he's won against, but I think of Sweden, Colombia, Ukraine, and they're not notable knockout victories and make quite hard work of them. Denmark in the semi-final last time, you win it on a penalty in extra time. Even the Slovakia game more recently, that wasn't a tough draw. He has got quite lucky with draws at knockout tournaments, but I guess in some way you make your own luck by getting there.
Yeah, but I do think this tournament has shown as well how difficult every team is. Portugal drew against Slovenia, England drew against Slovenia. It was the end of the world, but Portugal also did. They got taken to penalties. Germany struggled against Denmark. England struggled against Denmark. So every team is good because they're there. And Southgate has managed to get past the teams we should beat. And then when you come up against great teams, like I say, against France in the World Cup, we got quite unfortunate. We missed a penalty and there was a potential foul for Tchouameni's goal. So yeah, I feel like we have got more unlucky than other nations. And yeah,
such a British mentality. There's always something that's gone wrong against us, but it's true. It's how we feel. The thing is, Southgate's record is very, very good. Yes, it's boring. Who cares? Yeah. Who cares if you get results? It doesn't matter. Other nations that haven't been winning recently, I don't think they sit there and complain the whole time. I think we're a very miserable country. England are going through some changes. Off the pitch as well. New government, by the way, if anyone missed that. And apparently a new formation on the pitch. Are you looking forward to seeing England play with a 5 at the back today?
I actually am, to be honest, because something needs to change to stop the way that we've been playing throughout this tournament so far. And we have, essentially, it's the 3 at the back with 2 wing backs. So it would be more attacking. You're going to have 2 kind of attacking wing backs. That it's going to add something to the attack, hopefully, add a bit more threat down the wings. But yeah, we'll see how it actually gets implemented.
Yeah, I think this is where it shows where Southgate can't win. People crying out for a change, and he finally potentially changed it. And people go, "Why is he doing it in this tournament? Why is he doing it at a quarterfinal?" So it just shows that Southgate can't really win. But no, I'm looking forward to it. I think one of our best tournaments came, and we came to a back 3. We beat Germany with a back 3. So I'm looking forward to it. And I think it's a formation the players trust, and also Southgate. So yeah, why not?
One of our standout performers of the summer so far, Mark Gahey, is unfortunately suspended for today, and it's looking increasingly likely that Ezri Konsa is going to replace him in the lineup. Let's have a look through his statistics for Aston Villa this season. For every game that he played, he started them. Only scored 1 goal, so I don't think we're going to see an Ezri Konsa goal today. Probably not likely to happen for England anytime soon. 9 clean sheets for Aston Villa when he's got apparently the world's best goalkeeper behind him. Not that good, Emi Martinez, is it? He does get almost 2 clearances a game. He over a tackle a game. He's just fairly solid. Let's be real. It's a very good percentage of duels that he wins. Is he a good replacement in your eyes, or would you opt for Gomez or someone else, Freddie?
I think he's definitely the best replacement there. He's obviously been very, very strong for Aston Villa this year. He's been key to that defence and getting them to Champions League football. He has played half the season right back, half the season centre back. So we'll see how that kind of works in this game. But I think he's a very strong option and definitely the better option than Joe Gomez.
It'll be interesting with the back 3 if, we go Walker, Stones, and Ezri Konsa, as the graphic showed, he's played most of his football on the right side. Will he feel comfortable on the left? Whereas Joe Gomez, he can play across the back 3. He can play left back. He can play left centre back. So maybe that, but Konsa, he's reliable, 50 games, 50 starts. He's trusted. Why not?
It is nervous though to chuck him in such a big game for England in a quarterfinal, but and I'm sure he'll be nervous. So hopefully that doesn't come into his game.
I do think Joe Gomez is very good against, like when he played Arsenal this year, he locked Xhaka down. Like he does have the ability to just absolutely shut down sides.
Get that in there.
I did want to get that in there, yeah.
If England do play the reported five at the back, which I think they will, we will surely see Phil Foden in the 10. So exciting. Foden's England record isn't brilliant given how good he is. Let's have a look at his England record. 38 games for the national team and just 4 goals. And that's only 4 more than me. 8 assists. He does get 1.23 shots a game. Fairly successful with his dribbles. It's 2 out of 3. Key passes a game, 1.54. And he's in the green, which is very interesting because people always complain about how poor he is for England. But according to SofaScore, he's actually not that bad. Are we going to see him cook today?
I hope so, but I actually don't think so. Everyone's very excited about Foden going into this 10 role. We've seen it already. We saw it with Palmer on the right against Iceland, where we lost 1-0 in the build-up to the tournament. Right, that's not maybe the most competitive game. But to be honest, Foden has just never particularly impressed me for England. Hopefully he proves me wrong today, but I won't be expecting a huge amount, to be honest.
Yeah, it does feel like Gareth Southgate is just trying to fit him in when maybe it would be best to take him out. But yeah, this is his best position. So if he is going to perform, it will be there. And I do think sometimes with Foden, the stats don't show how good how influential he can be in a game. He won't score an assist, but he can create, he can open space and things like that, which stats probably don't show. But yeah, if he doesn't perform here, then and we go through, Southgate does have a real headache there.
Well, ahead of him is our number 9, ahead of the number 10. Harry Kane, the match winner against Slovakia, the England record goal scorer, the England captain. Let's have a look through his record for England. If you want to look at any player, then a reminder, you can download SofaScore by scanning the QR code in the top left or the link in our description. 95 games for the Three Lions, 65 goals, 19 assists. And he doesn't play for Spurs, so I can proudly say that I love this man, and I think he's one of the best strikers in the world. In fact, I'm going to go above that. I think he's the best striker in the world. Everybody talks about Bellingham. Do you think that gives Kane a chance of being the surprise hero?
Yeah, I guess surprise.
It's so weird to think that Kane could be the surprise hero.
Yeah, to be honest, he's not really getting enough credit for getting the goal in extra time against Slovakia. That goal's almost forgotten because of one of the most iconic England goals of all time. But he was a hero in the last game, and he has done that many times for England, and I'm sure he'll be able to do it again today.
Yeah, but it might be a nice feeling for Kane. Always the pressure's on him, and we see sometimes that you can't deal with the pressure. The Spurs DNA potentially, but yeah, he might like it. He might, but he hasn't been his best. We've seen at tournaments where he has kind of dragged England through with goals at important times. But I mean, he got the goal in the round of 16, but he hasn't really announced himself yet at this tournament like we thought he would.
I kind of get you, but I think it's laughable that people have ever even considered dropping Harry Kane. I just don't understand it. He's England's record goal scorer. He's one of the best there is. But do you think it's in the mindset somewhere? I still haven't won a trophy. Oh my God.
100%. That's definitely in his mind. He's desperate for a trophy in some way. And I'm sure next season he'll get it at Bayern Munich. And maybe that's easing the pressure a little bit because he's not playing for Spurs anymore.
Yeah, it's true. Like when you're at Spurs and you don't win a trophy, it's like, okay, that's okay. But Bayern and you don't win any of them, you have 4 attempts. That is a bit crazy. And then you probably do start to think, what is going on? But it will come. But I think he's obviously got the talent. He's England's best player. Yeah.
We did mention Bellingham very briefly. Gareth Southgate is delighted and relieved that despite his celebration in the last match, he'll be playing.
Decision. Clearly, when you score a goal of the quality that he did, at the moment that he did, at the age that he is, you're going to have an incredible rush of adrenaline, and I think there was no intent in the gesture towards anybody other than sort of communication he has with his family. So, from our perspective, we thought it was a sensible outcome. Really.
I find it very fishy when they say it was a signal to his family. I mean, when I talk to my family, That's not the gesture that I make. Do you think he is lucky to escape a ban?
No, I think it was common sense that he probably was just doing it to his mates or his family. It's like he's an intelligent guy, and yeah, I think it was an overreaction even thinking of a ban. So I think it would have been very harsh to miss one of England's biggest games because of a silly little gesture and joke.
If I score a 95th minute bicycle kick, I'm doing a hell of a lot more than that.
Especially as a 20-year-old, like he's younger than us. I'm going crazy. I'm
Yeah.
jumping into the stands and everything.
Yeah, I think he's allowed some leeway for the moment that he just produced.
But we've then seen Demiral banned for 2 games. It's somewhat a different gesture. I mean, Demiral apparently is
Political
far right thing. I thought he was just signalling, I want to go to Wolves. I didn't even know what it was. I thought it was just begging to come to the Premier League with that Willow Wolf thing. Yeah, sorry, I have no political understanding at all
Just a massive Wolves
about
fan.
Turkish politics. I just, love Wolves. Anyway, I do find it very funny that England are apparently making a groundbreaking change and the whole world knows about it. We're playing 5 at the back. Why do we reveal our tactics to the world? What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea how these leaks even happen, and I guess media seeing training and whatnot, but it doesn't help that you're giving a team a whole day pretty much to prepare for what you're going to give them instead of an hour before kickoff. So yeah, it's not helpful for the England team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I've been to a couple open trainings and they don't normally do anything that is disclosing what they're going to do. It's normally just passing and rondos and things like that. So I doubt it's come from that, but it's happened for years now. I'm surprised Southgate hasn't found out or wanted to find out, but if he's fine with it, he's fine with it.
If we do play 5 at the back, it's quite difficult to figure out who's playing where.
Yeah.
There's obviously lots of rumours, but it's tough to know. And Jordan Pickford says everybody needs to be ready.
Team of 26 and everyone's got to be raring to go for the game tomorrow, and whoever's ready to play be ready, and we've prepared well all week, and yeah, anyone who's ready to play to step up and do the job for the badge, and we're all passionate people as well, so yeah, we're ready.
Do you know who got SofaScore's man of the match against Slovakia and didn't really get enough credit? Declan Rice. Look, with Rice, I think we have all the ingredients we need. Haha. What do you think of Rice?
I obviously absolutely love Declan Rice as an Arsenal fan. He's come off the back of a great season. He made a great decision to transfer to Arsenal, and yeah, he's always been a consistent performer for England, and he'll continue to do that throughout his career.
He was all right. Like at Arsenal, he is really good. Undoubtedly, he's great. But I just thought in this England side, I think he's just trying to do too much. And you see at Arsenal, he is allowed to maraud forward with the ball, and he's really good at that. But at England, he's kind of, I feel like they're meant to be the deepest sitter, and he kind of just runs into people, then just passes it back or gets tackled a lot of the time. But he is a good player. Before you,
Can I just put it out there though? That Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, all of these players, they're hated when they play for England because they play for Arsenal. When Rice was at West Ham, nobody had the slightest complaints. It's now he's at Arsenal, criticise. Shush, you're miserable, Nathan.
They love to hate us, Aaron. They love to hate us.
Rice will be up against his Arsenal predecessor in the Swiss side today, Granit Xhaka. Let's compare Xhaka's last season at the Emirates to Rice's first. They are scary similar. So Xhaka, 9 goals, 7 assists, to Rice's 7 and 9. The big difference that you see on the SofaScore heat map there is that Rice sort of covered everywhere across the pitch. And then you obviously see in the corner spot, he's bright red because he was taking Arsenal's corners and they were very, very, very good. I'm surprised we haven't seen Rice taking some set pieces for England this summer. Look, this isn't an Arsenal show, but these two players are fantastic. Xhaka has gone to have a brilliant season out in Germany, but he's probably got one of his biggest tests yet as he faces this insanely talented England midfield. Do you think he'll struggle today?
I think Xhaka will most definitely struggle against this kind of opposition, the quality of the England midfield, and it's a big moment, and we know that Xhaka likes to crumble in the big moments, to be honest, and let his team down, as he did many times for Arsenal. I'm thinking of Man City when he got a red card, Liverpool away when he gets a red card, Burnley when he got a red card. So I would not be entirely surprised if Xhaka gets sent off today.
I'm actually going to be more hopeful about an ex-Arsenal player, surprisingly. I think he's matured a lot more. He's at Leverkusen, he's become one of the best midfielders in the Bundesliga, maybe even in the world. He also adds a more composure on the ball to the side, and he's a leader. I think he'll be a massively important player. But it's interesting. I wonder if he stayed at Arsenal, Arsenal would have been able to get across the line with him and Rice.
I think so, personally. I know Freddie's not Xhaka's biggest fan. But the thing was, when we were talking about Southgate just a moment ago, you said that, and you're right, that the teams that we faced in these knockout stages haven't always been brilliant. But let's take a look at Switzerland for a moment. So in the Euros so far, they've won 2, drawn 2, scored 7, and conceded just the 3. They've been really good. They've been really good. They've had quite a few different goal scorers as well. Goals come from all angles. Are you scared of them?
Yeah, for sure. This Switzerland team has looked super, super strong in the tournament so far, and I expect nothing less. They're going to turn up, and it's going to be an extremely tight game. So yeah, I'm pretty scared of their whole team, to be honest.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the fact that they have goal scorers from everywhere as well makes them so much more dangerous as a side. You're not just focusing on one player; you're focusing on the whole team. And they drew to Germany. They took the lead in that game. They beat Italy, and the last Euros they beat France. So they do like to upset the bigger teams. They like to spoil the party. And yeah, it'll be a real test for England. But yeah.
Who do you think England should be wary of in particular from the Swiss side?
I think Ruben Vargas, to be honest. So it's FC Augsburg's Ruben Vargas. Got a goal and assist in the tournament so far. He looked really, really strong against Italy, and he obviously capped the performance with that absolutely unbelievable goal from outside the box. So yeah, I think he's a danger man that England have to look out for today.
Yeah, I think Akanji's also been really good. I mean, John Stones spoke about it in his press conference as well, like how he's looking forward to going up against him, how good he is. So it'll be interesting to see how he deals with Kane and maybe Foden sitting inside a bit more, and Bellingham, and also Mbola. He's had quite a good tournament. He hasn't capped it with goals, but he's been a menace to the back line.
If England do lose today, is it 100 and out for Southgate?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think so, sadly.
Okay. Well, one man that's linked with replacing Gareth Southgate is Newcastle manager Eddie Howe, and Switzerland's Fabian Schär says he doesn't want him going anywhere.
I actually hope he will stay at Newcastle because if you see the work he's done over the last few years, I think he has a lot of quality and knows how to handle a big club and a team. And I mean, for myself as well, he did very well, and I'm really happy to have him as a manager. So hopefully he stays at Newcastle.
All right, England at the World Cup 2026. Who's going to be the England manager?
I would love it to be Eddie Howe. Obviously, what he did with Bournemouth, taking them from almost National League to Premier League, and then the job that he's done with Newcastle, I think he'd be a top tier manager for England.
Yeah, I think Eddie Howe would be quite good. I quite like the idea of Graham Potter. It seems like he's holding off for a big job because obviously the Chelsea job didn't go his way or the way he would have liked. I think maybe an England job would be able for him to prove how good a coach he is. So I think he would be quite an exciting one as well.
All right, let's have it. Your prediction for today: England versus Switzerland.
Okay, well, I'm gonna be hopeful and say an England tight 1-0 win with a Granit Xhaka red card.
I'm actually not going to be that hopeful. I'm going to be hopefully jinxing it. I'm going to go 2-0 Xhaka goal just because of that.
You're going 2-0 Switzerland?
Yeah,
Wow.
Xhaka goal.
You are so miserable. You're wrong. You're factually wrong. I'm so confident about it. I was looking through my pictures on my phone yesterday. I had a fancy dress outfit. I was dressed as a cheerleader. England go out today. I'll do the next show in my cheerleader outfit. There's no way. England are winning.
Wow.
England are winning, and they're winning.
You're a braver man than me.
I promise you, 100%. I've got absolutely
When was this photo taken? Was it?
It doesn't matter. England are winning. We're going to win 2-1. Harry Kane is scoring a double. And I think John Stones is going to score an own goal. I don't really know why. Are there any predictions? Not any predictions. Are there any comments coming through, Freddie?
We do have some comments. So we've got a comment from Alan George saying, what do you guys think about Kobe? I assume he's referring to Kobe Mainoo there, not Kobe.
Right.
But yeah, so I obviously think that Kobe's a top midfielder. It's incredible that he's now, started for England at the Euros when a year ago he was playing academy football. So yeah, I think he's a top player, and that kind of meteoric rise is because he's such high quality.
I thought he was the best player on the pitch before he came off. He's so positive, and he kind of links it all together. And he's not afraid to get the ball, which was important. I think Gallagher sometimes hides away and he's a bit rash, but yeah, Mainoo was very good.
Look, I am a massive Mainoo fan, but one player I really would have liked to have seen this tournament is Adam Wharton.
Yeah,
I just think maybe it probably should have come earlier because now it's getting later, and you can't really put that much pressure on someone that hasn't got the experience.
We've also had a comment from White Rice saying, since Southgate shifted to back four, they've never been consistent with their performance. Hopefully today he might get it right with the back 3/5, which I entirely agree with. I think the change is needed. We've seen more of a back five at previous tournaments, and I think the play has been better. So hopefully that change does turn into a better performance. And then White Rice has also followed that up with a prediction saying 2-1 England win.
White Rice is correct.
So let's hope that White Rice is correct for sure. And then we also had UK of Games saying that he hopes that there will be a good referee today. That's all he hopes for. And I think so do we, because we don't want any controversy, bad decisions leading to England going out the tournament.
1,000,000%. Look, there is another game today. The winner of that will be facing England in the semi-final. Netherlands versus Turkey. Koeman's men look back to their competent selves in the last 16. And on paper, they have the quality to brush aside Turkey with no real problems, right?
Yeah, they should do. I mean, they brushed aside Romania pretty easily when some people were questioning whether Romania could cause an upset there. That did not happen, and the Netherlands created so many chances in that game. I kind of expect the Turkey game to go similar.
Yeah, well, it'd be interesting to see if the Romania game was a one-off, because they probably were one of the worst teams in the round of 16, Romania. And Turkey, it was a bit of an upset beating Austria, but their fans are crazy. Like, I don't know.
I love the Netherlands fans. They bounce around. They just look like having a great time. We heard from Ronald Koeman ahead of today's game.
The tournament really good with a win against Poland. We had a draw against France. We had a bad day against Austria, and in the last one it was really a really good level football-wise. And if we keep that level, then it can be a really good tournament for us.
Look, everybody in this tournament is talking about Arda Güler. Rightfully so, he's brilliant. But Turkey have their own superstar already, Hakan Çalhanoğlu. He's been around for ages. He's an established baller, and we've looked through his career with SofaScore. In his 515 games, he scored 115 goals and 123 assists. He's one of the best free kick takers I've ever seen, and one of very few players to play for both AC and Inter Milan. 2.29 key passes a game. He's always gets quite a few shots in there, and a SofaScore rating of 7.39. He's in the green, which means he's pretty good. Is he going to be one of those streets we'll never forget kind of players? Hakan Çalhanoğlu.
Yeah, 100%. He's obviously a top tier player, and he's coming off a great season with Inter as well. He got 15 goals, 3 assists. So yeah, he's a very, very strong player, and obviously pretty much Turkey's key man, other than Arda Güler.
Yeah, he's just someone who makes things happen. On the stats show, he can. His goal in this tournament was a great finish. He can score from set pieces. He's someone who excites you, and you never know what he's going to do. But will produce a shot from 50 yards out or make an incredible pass. Yeah, he's a great player.
Now, we will also see I don't know how to say it, Kadioglu today, who everybody knows. The Fenerbahce fullback switched allegiances from the Netherlands to Turkey less than 2 years ago.
We played very good as a team for the first 60 minutes. The last 30 minutes we had some problems, but at the end, we fought very hard, and I think we deserve to be in the quarterfinal. If I compare myself to the Verdi 5 years ago, it's a totally different player. I played in a different position, and also I was playing for the Netherlands. But I've made the decision 2 years ago to play for Turkey, and I didn't regret it one time.
It's so weird to choose Turkey over the Netherlands, in my opinion. Look, Güler, Çalhanoğlu aside, the Netherlands have their key man firing. Perhaps the player of the tournament so far, Cody Gakpo. Do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's obviously the top goal scorer, currently tied with Mikhail Tadze, who's out the tournament. So only Cody Gakpo can gain on that. And he's been incredible. And you wonder why you don't somewhat see that for Liverpool. But yeah, he's always key for the Netherlands. He's always good in these tournaments. So yeah, he's a great performer.
Yeah, I agree. He's probably been the best player. I think this tournament, we haven't really seen the big stars step up. Mbappe hasn't been great. Ronaldo, not great even. Then Kane's also been a bit quiet. So yeah, I think Cody Gakpo has definitely been one of the best performances.
You mentioned Gakpo at Liverpool. Let's have a look through Gakpo at Liverpool. One of my closest friends is a Liverpool fan, and he can't stand Cody Gakpo. Like, he absolutely hates him. His record's not too bad, though. 16 goals in 53 matches last season, of which he only started 32 of those. Got 6 assists. Obviously, did drift a lot from the left. His goal conversion is not fantastic, 14.9%, but he's averaging 2 shots a game. So the more you shoot, the more you score, you'd like to think. Do you think we'll see him carry on his Netherlands form next season for Liverpool?
I think so. I think it also depends with Liverpool how they play him. The Netherlands play him a lot more central than Liverpool do. And so if Liverpool decide to kind of rely less on Darwin Núñez and give Cody Gakpo more of a key role, then I think we'll see him performing to a higher level than he has done so far.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's a lot more confident in the Netherlands team. Like, you watch him at Liverpool, and I sometimes think, like, what is he actually good at? Sometimes he doesn't look like he runs properly. I mean, I can't really speak, but
he woke up and chose violence today.
But at the Netherlands, he's looks so much more confident. His dribble against Romania from inside his own half to a shot which was saved. Like, yeah, he looks a lot more confident.
Okay, so we now know one semi-final, which is, of course, going to be Spain versus France. You're saying England, you're saying Switzerland. Who are they going to be facing?
They will be facing the Netherlands, for sure.
Yeah, I'll go the Netherlands. I've already made one bold prediction today.
Bold prediction, fine, so you're not going to have to.
No.
I think it's going to be Netherlands to win today, for sure.
I think Cody Gakpo will definitely get another goal. I think the Netherlands will beat them by quite a few goals as well. I'd probably go for a 3-0.
Yeah, I'm going to have 2-0 Memphis and Gakpo. I'm going to captain Gakpo on Euros Fantasy. Anyway, that is it for today. You can go, start drinking, start getting ready, because football is coming home. We will see you tomorrow.